Welcome to the Dental Brief, the world's direct, right-to-the-point podcast produced to get you the information you need to learn and grow your practice. To learn more about our guests and find links to information discussed on our show, visit our website, dentalbrief.com. On to today's episode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Dental Brief. I have with me a very special guest today, pioneer in dental tech. I'm going to jump right in and introduce him. Say hello to Dr. Vilas Sastry.
Hey, how's it going, Patrick? Thanks a lot for having me today.
Hey, it's great to have you here. I know you're a really busy person. You run practice. You also are kind of on the forefront of technology in dental. So that's what we're going to jump right in and talk about. So before we talk about teledentistry.com and what you've got going on and what you're doing there, real quickly, tell me, how'd you become a dentist?
Oh, man. Took an exam, got a seat in dentistry. It was a full ride, and I didn't know anything about dentistry. And so I went to my dad and I said, you know what, maybe I should do this. And he goes like, how much does it cost? I said, just free. He goes, you're going to be a dentist. And so I'm a dentist now. That's how I got started off. You know what I mean? So can't say no sexy story there, but it was just one of those things where you just kind of fell into it. And I tell you, I have never looked back. It's been one of the those aptitude tests I took back then were spot on. Let's put it that way. You know.
Okay. So you started teledentistry.com, and again, we're going to jump into there. But tell me what led up to that. Kind of what was your journey? You finished dental school, and what was your next step? Yeah,
for sure. So I finished up dental school, went to Boston University, then started up my own practice in 2006. 2007, when you start up your own practice, you think you know everything in the world, but I was one of those guys who made every single mistake in dental practice management. And I very quickly realized that a lot of the patients that I was seeing had, they wanted me to use their insurance or some kind of insurance-related stuff. And so I got to thinking, I said, well, you know what? Maybe I could actually sell insurance and simultaneously treat the patients that I sell insurance to. And so I started up a dental insurance brokerage firm in 2007 and very quickly became one of the biggest brokers for dental insurance in Nevada. And that's kind of how I got my start. And as I was going through the motions, from 2007 to 2017, I tell you, we placed a lot of insurance for a lot of people. And I realized that one of the big issues with patients was that they didn't really care, about their insurance. What they cared about was when they could use their insurance, and so when they wanted to use their insurance, it had to be available to them. So that's something that really kind of stuck with me. And I said, okay, well, you can come into the practice anytime and I'll take care of you. No, but I want to use it on Sunday. I'm like, well, how do you do that? And so a lot of these questions started going through my mind, and it started becoming more and more clear to me that it was less about the insurance and more about the convenience, And so that's where I kind of focused my energy on. And I said, let me create a product that sits along with insurance as a value-added benefit, which is, a teledentistry benefit. And I created teledentistry.com, and this was back in 2017. And started working on it since then. So the whole idea was to create convenience for patients to be able to access a dentist whenever they wanted it, because that's the most important thing. We live in an Amazonified world. I mean, who are we kidding, right? We all want everything when we want it. And so that's what we are now enabling dental insurance companies to offer to their members.
Yeah, I see. Speaking of Amazon, when I go to order something that's not on Amazon and they tell me it's going to be here in 7 to 10 days, I'm like, what are you insane? I'm not going to need it. I'm not going to need these hiking shoes or this vest or whatever it is.
That's right.
In 10 days. So now tell me real quickly, how many users do you have on the platform now?
So we have contracts with insurance companies that have put about 50 million members onto our platform.
Unbelievable. So you just launched a new product as well, right? At the teledentistry.com. What is this new product?
Yeah, so it's called the Teledentistry Support Organization. And obviously our first product is the value-added benefit to dental insurance companies, and that got like quite the rocket start during the COVID era. We've partnered with several insurance companies. as we were going through the motions and assisting the insurance carriers, we started getting phone calls from fellow practitioners who were like, hey, you know what? My staff just, I'm not able to hire enough staff. My phones are ringing off the hook. I'm having these patients, we do all kinds of marketing. You guys are marketers too, right? And if, as a dentist, we spend all kinds of money on marketing. If you don't answer that phone when the phone rings, that's a lost opportunity. And you don't know if you're losing $50 or you're losing $15,000. You know what I mean? It's almost insane to think how much money you could lose just by not answering the phone. And so I started thinking about that too. And I said, well, what if we could take our teledentistry organization and create a virtual wraparound of any practice of any size and provide virtual consults for a patient as soon as they call into the practice. So let's say now you're a solo practitioner or you're a big DSO, either way, okay? And your phones are ringing off the hook, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, your front desk staff didn't show up for the day, or they're incapacitated, or they're too busy for any reason. Those extra phone calls that are supposed to be picked up by your team are now being answered by your competitor. Yep. Instead, now we will help you as the company, Teledentistry.com, in answering those phone calls with our own 24/7 call center support team. We'll answer the phone call. We'll provide the patient with a virtual consult. We'll find out what the patient's needs are. We'll prescribe medications as appropriate, no controlled substances, of course. And then we'll turn that patient right back to your own practice. And depending upon the practice management software system, we can even book the patient into your schedule with a dedicated slot. And so this entire service, by the way, is at no charge to the practice, which is what's kind of crazy. Most people are like, wait, how is that even possible? Well, the reason is because we're billing the insurance for the consult that the patient called in for. So a lot of practices are using our systems right now for after hours. So if you're spending like $2,000-$3,000 a month, who knows how much you're spending on an after hours service, or better yet, you're having it transferred to your smartphone or your cell phone to field calls. We can now take that over for you, and no skin off your back. We provide you with a dedicated telephone number. We'll even provide you with a dedicated link to your own teledentistry portal. And all of this is coming to you at no charge, and we just bill the insurance of the patient for that virtual consult. Importantly, realize that some of the dentists had this valid question, which was, well, if you do the consult, then I won't be able to do that consult in my practice. The answer is just true. You won't be able to bill for that particular code, the teledentistry code. But think of losing the patient. How much does that cost you?
Right.
So the trade-off is there, and the upside is also there in that the patient has received the service at any time of the day. You didn't have to pick up the consult and do the actual virtual consult. Let it be during the day or after hours, or on the weekend. And the patient's still being turned around to you to do the root canal or crown or extraction or what have you. And so that's where, of course, your focus is as a dentist, is in making sure doing the actual physical treatment, in-person treatment for the patient.
Sure. So let's talk about this for a second. And I want to invite our users to check out your site again. It's teledentistry.com and learn more about your products and services. Outside of your service, what are some ways that, and I know you have the term teledentistry, which is fantastic, but what are some ways that dentists can use telemedicine or telehealth, teledentistry visits, Zoom calls, Google Meet, Absolutely. Facebook Live, whatever, any of these that are out there to better their practice in general?
Sure thing. And something, you bring up a great point. And this is another feature that I often talk about this with other dentists as well. I say, you don't need the teledentistry.com platform or any platform really to do teledentistry. You and I are on a video conference right now. We're not. You could open your mouth and I could have a look in there and we can see what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So the technology itself is not what's very important. It's how you use it. To answer your question, there's so many different things that can be done. Emergency care, initial triage, giving patients an idea as to what could be going on in their mouth and provide them with an opportunity to interact with you before they actually come into the practice. You can even do a financial triage of the patient, by the way,
Sure.
which is something that we offer as part of our platform. You can check out whether that it's, if imagine this scenario. Before teledentistry and before all these technologies are available, you do an advertisement, let's say all-on-4 dental implants or something, some kind of high-end dental procedure, right? That can easily run $40,000-$50,000, even more now with post-COVID, right? So you do all that advertising. Patients will come in, and they'll have whatever insurance coverage they have. You may not accept it, or you may. They come in, they sit down, they go through the whole process. They get the they get the treatment plan done by you, and then they go in and see the financial coordinator, only to discover that they've been denied for credit or what have you. At that point, they have an option of paying for it in pocket, or they walk out the front door. I think we all know as dentists what usually ends up happening. They end up walking out the front door. Okay, so instead of having to have all that expense that you've just done, the marketing, the answering the phone call, booking the patient, taking the x-rays, taking the records, the staff time, and of course your financial coordinator time, and then have a negative result or a case that didn't actually close, then you can instead do this virtually on our platform, where you can say, hey, let me have a conversation with you. Yeah, okay, Mr. John Doe, you need all-on-4 implants. We definitely need to take x-rays when you come into the practice. And then I'd like to check your insurance to see if it is actually something that your insurance covers. And hey, by the way, why don't we also, do a credit verification to see if that's something that you can get done prior to coming into the practice.
Sure. Yep.
And Mr. John Doe will be more than happy to do so, because now he doesn't even have to come out of his house, wherever he is, and then get that done. So you're saving yourself all that time, energy, and effort, and doing it up front. So now when Mr. John Doe does come in, what his capability is in terms of getting the treatment done.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I think it's a great way to qualify. Right, make sure it's a good fit for the patient and a good fit for you too. And I think the same thing, cosmetic, if doing cosmetic consults on a screen share is great, because what you're going to notice is that patient is going to be looking at their teeth during those. They're not going to be looking at you. They're going to be everything that you talk about with their teeth. They're going to be looking at real time. You can't get that, in person unless you ask them to hold a mirror the whole time they're in your office. So
that's right.
Great sales tip. So if a dentist wants to learn more about your platform or working with teledentistry.com, what's the best way for them to reach out to you guys?
Oh, absolutely. We have so many resources on our website. Just come to, if you're interested in the teledentistry support organization, just come to teledentistry.com. We have an entire section for dental practice. If you're interested in working as a dentist to do virtual consults, just scroll all the way to the bottom and click on the careers button. If you want to see the different insurance carriers we work with, there's the insurance carrier section. There's a whole host of resources available on the website, and you're more than welcome to check it out.
Hey, thanks for taking the time to share with us, help our audience get better. We appreciate it very much, Dr. Sastry. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Patrick. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode. Did you know you can weigh in on today's topic on Facebook? Search The Dental Brief on Facebook or visit our website, dentalbrief.com, and just follow the link. We look forward to having you join us again on another episode of The Dental Brief.